This video talks about the materials used, designs, shapes, pros and cons of false ceiling. A building is incomplete without a sturdy roof. Home interiors are incomplete without a good ceiling. The false ceiling are steadily gaining momentum in a world of interior design. Although false ceiling designs have been around for years, they're coming back with a bang in terms of patterns, finishes, technology and illusions. A false ceiling is nothing but a ceiling that hangs below the original ceiling of a room or home. It is usually suspended by wooden or metal frames. It brings the illusion of a lower ceiling or drop ceiling. They are usually mounted at a minimum distance of 8 inches from the original ceiling. They're versatile enough to be constructed in homes of any size. It is all about being clever with shapes and available space and architecture designs. Next we talk about some of the popular false ceiling materials. Gypsum false ceiling is one of the most common materials used. Gypsum is an offspring of calcium and is used in the construction of lightweight ceilings. They usually come in the form of boards that are hanged off the ceiling with iron or wooden frameworks. Plaster of Paris false ceiling is a more common variety of ceiling, not because it is easy to shape and source, however they are also long-lasting and are well insulated even in varying weather conditions. Wooden false ceiling. Due to its natural grain and textures, wood has found its way onto the fifth wall many times. It is costlier compared to gypsum and plaster of Paris, which is why you would most likely see it in residential buildings as opposed to large-scale commercial projects. False ceiling designs. Single-layered false ceiling is a type of ceiling which is a foolproof way to jazz up a room. Homeowners could choose to leave it white on a white ceiling, as this adds dimension without necessarily overwhelming the space. However, you could choose from a variety of colors, shapes, textures and lighting options available. This is a great trick to distract from a small space or one that doesn't do much in terms of decor. Multi-layered false ceiling are a great way to experiment with an already versatile medium to create a completely personalized ceiling. In larger rooms, a multi-layered ceiling in the center of the ceiling creates drama and the feeling of grandeur, while those laid out near the edges are more likely to make the space look wider. A multi-layered ceiling also opens up new avenues for lighting, color, and shape-based experiments. Plus-minus plaster of Paris false ceiling is constructed completely out of plaster of Paris. The plus-minus ceiling design is where there are elements protruding out of a regular false ceiling or by contrast tucked into it. This trend is more on the elaborate side, so be sure to factor in existing decor plans and the amount of space you have before playing around with this idea. Coffered false ceiling are sunken square or boxy panels that are fixed into a ceiling. Aside from instantly bringing drama into a space, this ceiling design also creates the illusion of higher ceiling and multiple dimensions within one room. False ceiling shapes. Plaster of Paris used in false ceilings is known for its moldable properties, making it perfect for almost any kind of ceiling design. However, there are other false ceiling materials that can be shaped and customized as well. Here we will take a look at some of the most popular false ceiling shapes. Box ceiling design features a layered ceiling with boxed and recessed lights attached to them. Peripheral ceiling. This minimal design runs along the corners of the room and is perfect for low ceiling homes. You can also find space for a chandelier or pendant lights in this design. Geometric design requires suspended panels for each piece that is put together. It is a modern design that gives the room a stylish edge. Intricate lattice. Installing a lattice in a false ceiling provides a subtle demarcation to an open space and adds to the aesthetics of a room. Wooden slats false ceilings are a favorite, albeit expensive, option among homeowners. It is also one of the best insulating ceiling options. Inverted cove is a great option to reduce high ceilings. It works well in every room and is perfect for ambient lighting. You can also find space for a chandelier in this design. Next we talk about the advantages of a false ceiling. Great acoustics is one of the features of false ceiling. Adding an additional layer to the original ceiling creates better acoustics within, making it a perfect design treatment for living rooms, home theater, and AV rooms. A false ceiling is a perfect place to hide wires and pipes. A false ceiling can also be fitted with sunken or hidden lighting. For lofty vertical space that dwarfs furniture in a room, you can consider installing a false ceiling to restore proportions. For homes in colder regions of the country, this offers up an added perk of insulating rooms. The additional layer creates a gap between itself and the original layer, which traps air and cools the room down. It also optimizes the functioning of air conditioners. because it reduces the square footage to be cool and slashes energy bills. Moving to the disadvantages of a false ceiling. False ceiling requires precision in design, calculation, and installation and must only be put in place by experts. It is also not feasible for low-ceilinged rooms. It needs to be at least 8 inches away from the original wall. Therefore, it is always recommended that the ceiling height to be 11 feet or higher. For compact homes, a partial ceiling in a corner of the room can do the trick. Finally, besides the aesthetic appeal of it, false ceilings are functional features that improve acoustics. They cover unsightly wires and pipes. They can be designed around air conditioning ducts and lower electricity consumption. Moreover, you can opt for fireproof and moisture-resistant designs as well. These false ceilings that are custom designed and made with high-quality plaster of Paris and gypsum which will last well beyond 20 years in normal conditions. When compared to tube lights, bulbs and track lights, they are cost and energy efficient in the long run. Their ability to reflect and diffuse light to a wider area makes them more efficient than focused lighting, like track lights and tube lights. Adding a false ceiling to an existing or new interior design plan enlivens the space. It also creates a cozy ambience and earns brownie points for supporting lower energy bills. Thanks for watching.